Hey guys, this is Spartacus here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you two of my favorite class setups to use while using the Whitley light machine gun. This, of course, is a new weapon that just came to Call of Duty Vanguard for Season 2. You can get it at Tier 31 in the Battle Pass, and by default, this gun is really good. I believe it has the fastest fire rate out of all the light machine guns in the game. I could be wrong about that, but it does have a fire rate of 600 rounds per minute by default, which is insane to think about. And so, the thing about this weapon is that it's mostly meant to be a fast firing light machine gun. However, you can convert it to be a slow firing light machine gun like you'll see in one of my best class setups throughout this video. And so the two classes I'm going to be showing you, the first one's going to be more of a rush style class, so something you can actually run really fast with. You're able to push enemies a little bit easier. The other one is more of a slow moving and conservative type class. You treat it more as like maybe a traditional light machine gun. That's something that's heavy to use with slow ADS and stuff like that. So those are the two types of classes I'm going to be going over in this video for the Whitley light machine gun, and let's just dive right into them. For my close quarters and rush style type class for the Whitley light machine gun, I'm first using the G28 compensator as my muzzle attachment because this allows the gun to just have better recoil control. And then for the barrel attachment, I'm using the 26-inch Gracie Rapid, and this allows the Whitley to have 100% more fire rate to it and also better vertical recoil control, which is strange because usually when you add fire rate to a weapon, it gives the gun more recoil, but not with this attachment apparently. And the one downside to this attachment, it does deal less damage by default and it will slow down your ADS speed, but that rapid fire portion does kind of make up for the damage being reduced, so that's a good thing. And then of course the optic attachment, I am not using any at all. I love the default iron sights on this thing. It is so much fun to use and it's so clean too. It's so easy to stay on target in those close quarters situations. And then for the stock attachment, I'm using the CQC R4. This allows me to have better movement and recoil control, but it will decrease your sprint to fire speed, unfortunately. And then for the underbarrel attachment, I'm using the SMLE pistol grip. This allows you to have better sprint to fire and hip fire spread, which is very good for close quarter situations. And then for the magazine attachment, I'm using the British 45 round mags. This thing is, I think, a very reasonable attachment to use when you're in close quarter situations. Not only are you able to reload faster, but 45 round mags is a good amount of ammo to have if you're trying to get multi-kills without having to reload at all. And then for the ammo type, I'm not really too picky on this, but hollow point seems like the good choice to use just because you might be reducing your damage range slightly, but you're going to be dealing a little bit more damage to the limbs, which I think can be really clutch in many different situations. And then for the rear grip, I am using the fabric grip, and this allows you to have faster ADS and sprint to fire. For the proficiency and kit, honestly, you guys can really choose anything you want, but I find that hard scope is really good in the proficiency category just because it allows you to have better accuracy shortly after ADSing. And then for the kit, I like to use fully loaded just because I hate running out of ammo, and I'm able to keep a lot of ammo when I go on streaks with my Whitley light machine gun. And then when it comes to like base perks for when creating your own class, I like to use Ninja, Radar, and Lightweight. I think this is a great combination for rushing people in core game modes. When playing hardcore, Radar isn't really the best perk to use just because the only way to see your minimap is if you have a UAV in the air, where that minimap is always there by default in core modes. So yeah, Ninja, Radar, and Lightweight are definitely the perks to use while using this close quarters style type class with the Whitley light machine gun. And then for the equipment, I like to use the Sticky Bomb and Stim Shot. Now let's go on to the slow moving conservative type class setup I have for the Whitley light machine gun. This is meant to be more of a traditional light machine gun class. It's not supposed to be a fast moving class. It's meant to be kind of slow you down but have a good pack-a-punch to it essentially, and you'll see what I mean when I explain the different attachments I use. So some of these attachments are going to be the same. For example, the muzzle attachment, I'm also using the G28 compensator. However, for the barrel, I'm using the 28-inch Gracie Mark 9. This allows it to have low recoil and you are flinch resistant. However, you're going to have slower movement along with this barrel. And then for the optic attachment, I like to use the 2.5 times scope. And then for the stock attachment, I use the Gracie EK8, and this allows it to actually have better sprint to fire because some of these like main attachments that I'm changing up here are going to allow the gun to kind of have slower ADS speed. So I'm trying to make it up with some of these other attachments. And so the stock attachment I have here, the Gracie EK8, is meant to have better sprint to fire for it. And then the underbarrel attachment, I'm also using the same grip as before, the SMLE pistol grip. And then for the magazine attachment, this is where things things are going to be changing a lot here for the weapon. And so I have 150 round boxes, and this allows the gun to have much higher damage per shot. I believe you're having like 77% damage per shot, so you're going to be getting consistent 2-shot kills with this attachment, but you are trading it off for a lot more recoil and a lot less fire rate, so keep that in mind. And then for the ammo type, I like to use FMJ. You might, if you're having a high damage per shot weapon that's with slow fire rate, you might as well be able to bang those bullets through walls a lot easier, and so, you know, using the FMJ would be a lot better to use, even though on screen it probably showed I was using hollow points. Honestly, the ammo type isn't really, I'm not really too picky when it comes to the ammo type on the Whitley anyway. And then for the rear grip, I like using the fabric grip, the same one as I used before. And then for proficiency and kit, I also used the same ones before, even though proficiency, I might trade that out with something else, but hard scope is such a good one to use in my opinion. And then of course, using kit as fully loaded, then yeah, of course, yeah, you know, fully loaded, having your kit, making sure you're always having ammo all the time can really help when going on long streaks. And then when it comes to the base perks in this class setup, I like to use Ghost, Radar, and Mechanic. Obviously, if you're playing in hardcore, Radar isn't going to be the best perk to use in the world. Maybe something else like Piercing Vision, especially since this weapon is going to be designed more to shoot enemies through materials and walls a lot easier, so maybe Piercing Vision will be a little bit better, but personally Radar is super easy for me to use just because I'm able to identify where enemies are shooting from in core game modes. And then of course the equipment, I like to use the Sticky Bomb and Stim Shot. And that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Both of these class setups I have for the Whitley make the gun perform a lot differently, and so both of them are honestly satisfying to use. I love having that fast fire rate and being able to melt people at close quarters range, and at the same time I also love having that slow fire rate, but that potential of getting 2-shot kills consistently is also really satisfying. And that's pretty much the main reason why I think this gun is going to be nerfed, is just because that 2-shot kill that you can get with that certain attachment, you know, it really makes the gun extremely powerful, and so it's possible they'll just reduce the fire rate even more on it in the future, but I guess only time will tell. Either way, both these class setups I find to be really good, and I think you guys will as well. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like if you did, subscribe to the channel for videos every single day, and I shall catch you guys later.